Alison, the cancellation of this year's Christmas market not long after the council announces they're going to extend it is surely a hell of a blow for the city.
Yeah, the Christmas market is a really important commercial point in the calendar where particularly the hospitality businesses do very well, and so people will have already organised staffing and stock to cover for that period, and so it is a blow to the businesses.
So what is Bath BID going to do to help rescue, to help save Christmas?
Well, Christmas will happen anyway, and nothing can take away how beautiful Bath is in the winter. I think it really comes to life in the winter. It's crisp and it's an outdoor city that you can enjoy at that time of year. But that said, we do need to have a story to tell people, and I think our key role is about coordinating all of the activities that loads of different people are putting on. So I'll give you some examples. We're really excited about the Museum of the Moon, which is coming to the Abbey. In other cities, they've seen thousands of visitors a day come to the Museum of the Moon, and the team at Bath Abbey have done their best to add value. So the Museum of the Moon is going to be an enormous, sort of like a hot air balloon, but an enormous NASA model of the moon inside, like filling the inside of the Abbey. But at the same time, you can book for other events where you can meet astronomers and learn more, and they're having special performances and so on. So there'll be, if you're really excited about it, you can come and book extra things to go to. And I think that creates a lovely centre point for us. And constellations is a really nice theme at Christmas time. We think about the star and so on. So actually we're incorporating some stars into the rest of the work that we're doing. So we're starting, I suppose our first point is we're going to run some free workshops for children where they can come and build a star lantern that they can hold, and we're going to have an old-fashioned community Christmas light switch on the 25th of November in Milsom Street, and we hope that all the children who come to the workshops will bring their stars, and it will feel like a really lovely point to sort of launch Christmas in the city. Some of the Christmas lights will actually be on already, but we'll turn down as many as we can and have that great moment, and that's the moment we'll be launching as well the Christmas light trail. So you described that as a rehearsal last year. Last year we did the Christmas light trail, and lots of people, thousands of people, downloaded that map from our Welcome to Bath website that told them where to go on the Christmas light trail. And illuminating the historic buildings is exactly what we should be doing. For the benefit of those who don't know what you're talking about, what was the Christmas light trail and what is it going to be this year? Okay, so last year we illuminated some of the sort of very significant buildings in the city centre over the Christmas period, and it's an ideal activity because it was outdoors. So in lockdown, we knew that it was an activity that could still happen, and even if none of the shops could open, at least people could look in and be reminded of their favourite shops. And I know people were all walking around holding hot drinks, so the hospitality businesses did quite well out of it. So it went down so well. We're doing it again. We're doing it in partnership with the council this year. So all of the places that we illuminated last year, so the kind of Kingston Parade area, there'll be lighting. On the front of the Abbey, we lit it up and you could see it from all around. It was fantastic. We're lighting up the steeple of St Michael's, and we're having the new bit is a really exciting sort of, I've been calling it Chasing the Rainbow, but it's going to be a multicoloured lighting show almost, but effect going up and down Milsom Street. So there'll be a real reason to visit Milsom Street. But I think there were 29 installations as part of the light trail last year, and it will be similar. Some of them are quite low-key and some of them are huge, like the ones in Milsom Street. So we're trying to encourage people to discover the whole city whilst also shopping and eating food. Talking of shopping, it hasn't been a good year for retail generally. Still a lot of empty shops in Bath. You can fill the shop window with balloons, but it's not the same as a thriving business. How is the retail trade going into the winter? What is the feeling amongst the people who are members of Bath BID? It's a difficult time for retailers, definitely, and there's been a lot of readjustments. But events like we're doing, like the Christmas light trail and all of the other events that are happening over the Christmas period are actually crucial to their success. So I heard from Jolly's that during the during the Great Bath Feast, they overshot all of their targets for that particular weekend and saw a huge uplift, and it was their best weekend of the year. So we know that these kind of things that bring people into the city are actually really important. So reminding you all that it's here.
Well, you've got my support with that special weekend, because I was saying do it again and again and again. It's a shame things like that weren't regular occurrences to bring streets back to life.
Yeah, I think it is quite difficult doing things in Bath. One of the big changes, actually, we're talking to another business today. One of the big changes has been this introduction of the, tables and chairs licences for people, the pavement licences, through the COVID legislation. And there was a business we were speaking to in the Kingsmead Square area this morning who said they've had the best summer they've ever had, and they've been in the city for 10 years. You can probably all work out who it is. But how great to hear that in this challenging summer, the combination of street seating and probably the pedestrianisation of Kingsmead Square has made that difference to their business. And so I think, although major events like Great Bath Feast are quite difficult to organise in a city like Bath, there has been a whole lot more activity outdoors than we've been used to, and I think that's gone really well, actually.
More people and maybe fewer cars. The city centre changing. I mean, there's real evidence that it is beginning to change.
It is changing, yeah, and everywhere is changing. I feel like this is a real moment of change, like globally, really. We're all beginning to understand that we can't just carry on using resources in the same way, and we have to adapt, and cities like Bath have to hold on to their historic specialness and adapt at the same time. And, I'm glad all I have to do is adapt to the changes, as it were, rather than actually decide them. But obviously we have a really important strategic role in feeding back how the businesses are responding and how the city is feeling from a commercial perspective, and we do that.
How concerned are your members about stock? We're hearing, I was listening to the news today, and of course they always say don't panic, there's no need to panic, but the public, if this continues, are just going to go rushing out to do their Christmas shopping now because they're frightened that there won't be the stocks, the supplies, the closer we get to December the 25th. Is there real concern in Bath about supplies, about stocks?
That's not something I've discussed, in fairness, with the businesses. There are some businesses who are struggling more to get their stock in, and it depends where they're getting it from. So there are some small retailers, for example, who specialise in having stock that comes from Europe. They already knew it was going to be difficult because 2 years ago, when they were starting to prepare for the new situation, they couldn't even get the information about what they would need to know, and that came out all quite late. And then now we're adding HGV drivers into the mix. The place where we're feeling it as an organisation, the HGV driver challenge, is actually around collection of the trade waste. So sometimes bags get left out because they were one driver down, or one lorry down, or whatever, and so we're trying to make sure that the city stays clean all the time without those great big waste trucks coming in. But actually we're really feeling the cracks in that supply, so I imagine that businesses are feeling the same around their stocks. Yes, it's a worry, and you don't want to invest in huge amounts of stock when you can get it, because obviously that then has a cash flow issue. We don't mind people shopping early for Christmas. We think that's good because that helps people's cash flow.
Well, that's something we can all do to support our local traders, isn't it?
Yes, indeed, yeah. And you've always had to shop early if you wanted the very latest toy or whatever the gimmick of the year was. But yes, one of the nice things we're trying to pull together is something about recycling toys, though. We're working with the share and repair team to create a Old for Old is what we've been calling it, but I don't think that's going to be the snappy title, but a place where an elves workshop where you can bring an old toy and take away a second-hand toy. A very accessible Christmas experience for children from all over the area.
I featured them just a week ago, and
Oh,
they're doing
They're
a great
amazing
job.
team, yes.
Yeah, a lot of volunteers in there giving their services, doing repairs. Speaking of volunteers, of course, you have a presence on the street.
We do, yes.
And these are people volunteering to greet and meet visitors to Bath?
Yeah, they're amazing. So we have about 20, we call them welcome ambassadors, and I think ambassador is exactly the right name for them because they're very, very important and clever people. They know far more about Bath than I'll ever know, and they give up their time mainly because they love Bath, which, how inspiring is that? Interestingly, they record every conversation that they have, not physically record it. I mean, they write down every conversation that they have. So we have a really good idea about what people don't know and what people do know when they arrive in Bath. And actually, the most common question is, as people arrive off the railway station, they say, I've got 3 hours, what shall I do? So in fact, our welcome ambassadors are also really powerful. They can interpret the city for people, and they ask a lot of questions. They don't just say, well, what you must do is, go and eat in that cafe. They say, well, what do you like? Do you like history? Do you like walking? Do you like trees? Do you like canals? And they try and help the people to create an itinerary for them, which is an amazing service.
And you're always looking for more volunteers?
We are. We do have a kind of an interview process to make sure that people understand what they're letting themselves in for, but it's only 4 hours a month, the minimum commitment, and we never just expect people to know everything on their first day. They always get to go with one of our more experienced volunteers, so anyone can come. You don't have to know everything. You'll be amazed how much you learn doing it, and we're really delighted to have them as part of the team.
Alison, it sounds like there's a lot of planning and collaboration going on between Bath BID and other trading organisations in the area. I know you're working, as you say, with Milsom Street and with SouthGate. Good luck, and let's keep in touch, and do use Bath Museum to get any message across you want to. The level of music from our street performers has now increased because we've changed from classical guitar to, I thought it was Bert Weedon, but that dates me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.